Okay, got my daily online business scope. If you'll give me about 2 seconds, I will take this link from Twitter and pop this in Facebook and LinkedIn. Hope y'all are doing great. My name's Lee Cole, by the way. I do daily online business scopes at 9 o'clock. Frank 60, how are you today? And got a really cool show today. Delilah, I hope you're doing wonderful today. Thank you for being on my show. And we'll get this puppy rolling in a second. So let's pop that link in there. Join my scope. Join my daily business scope. We'll just do that. How about that? Join my daily business scope. Let's post that. And pop it in LinkedIn. I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. Join my daily online business scope. Ooh, thank you so much for the hearts. DDoS6. And I got up over 3,000 hearts. I've got to stay ahead of Delilah, who's on the show. That was funny. MS Too Pretty, how are you doing today? I hope y'all are having a wonderful day. My name is Lee Cole. I'm an online entrepreneur. I have been making a full-time living online for the past 5 years. I do internet and network marketing. I've been making money online for approximately 8 years. You can catch me at facebook.com/LeeColeOnline. LinkedIn.com/IN. Looks like that's probably Jay Seminole, Roslinder. Thank you for joining the show. I hope y'all are doing wonderful. LinkedIn.com/IN/LeeColeOnline. Catch my blog, InternetMaverick.com. And I'm wearing a hat because I'm having an extremely bad hair day, which my teenage daughter, would find hilarious considering that she thinks I don't have any hair. ProKeg, how are you doing today? And I'm sorry I have to just announce, your handles. I wish Periscope would change this so that we actually knew your names. But anyway, today's show is going to be pretty cool. I was rereading a book that I read probably 2 or 3 years ago. You may have heard of the book Go for No. And if you have, this is not the book I'm talking about. 69 Ender, how are you doing today? Welcome to the show. If you haven't heard of the book Go for No, and that's not the book I'm talking about, it's their previous book, that's a great book for all salespeople. As a matter of fact, anybody in any kind of business needs to read Go for No. Okay, it is a fundamental book about rejection. Now, but the same two people that wrote Go for No wrote a previous book called The Fear Factory. And I've been doing a lot of shows about fear and failure, which seems like a downer, but look if you're going to get out of your comfort zone, okay, if you're going to do something other than what you're doing, I'm sorry, you're going to have to learn to deal with it. Kind of like, if you're going to play a contact sport, football, well, let's use boxing. If you're going to box, you have to learn to deal with pain. Okay, I mean, you just do. Stitches in the face, broken bones, stuff like that. I have broken nose, a couple of broken ribs, stitches in my face from, boxing and doing martial arts and stuff. This is from years ago. I mean, I don't do this anymore. I became a lover and not a hater. But anyway, Hisham, and I can't pronounce the rest of that. How are you doing? I hope you're doing great. Welcome to the show. But I mean, it's just, and it was great fun while I was doing it. But, if you don't like pain, then don't do that. So if you don't like fear, if you don't like the possibility of failure, then you need to stay in your own little safe cubbyhole and never venture outside. But isn't that a sad way to live? So, I love that handle, Snuggling Shoes. Well, welcome to the show. So that's why I spend a lot of time on these daily business scopes talking about your head and your heart, because if you get those two things right, the rest of it really will fall into place. There are more ways to make money than people on the planet. It's incredible, especially with the internet. So the how is really not that difficult. It's the why and getting your head and your heart right. So today we're going to talk about why it is so hard to stay positive. So I was telling you about that book, Go for No, and go over to Amazon right now and Google that, probably Jorgito. How are you? Welcome to the show. Let me get on Amazon right this second, and I'll tell you who the authors are because I want to give them a shout out because these are really, really cool books. Let's say Go for No. I think her name's Andrea. No. Yeah, Andrea Waltz and Richard Fenton. Go for No. Yes is the destination. No is how you get there. The title tells you the whole thing. Richard Fenton and Andrea Waltz, W-A-L-T-Z. Must read book for anybody in business or considering getting in any kind of business. Now, but they wrote a previous book called The Fear Factory. It wasn't quite as good as Go for No, but it had a lot, and it didn't get the big play that Go for No did. I think it didn't. But it had a lot of cool stuff in it. And it was exactly about fear and fear in life. So when you look at, I was rereading this book, and today I read it about 3 years ago. I was rereading it last night, the night before. I read everything on my phone. It's just more convenient for me. And so I'm in the beginning of the book again, and they're talking about fear. And, they talk about how there are 5 basic human emotions. And according to them, those 5 basic human emotions are anger, hate, sadness, happiness, and fear. Let's go over those again. Anger, hate, sadness, happiness, and fear. I'll kind of go with that. I don't personally see the difference between anger and hate, but I'm not a very angry or I'm not definitely not a hateful person. So maybe I just don't have a lot of emotional experience in that part of the world. Let's go over those again because I want to see if this jumps out at you like it jumped out at me. We're talking about Curly Whirl. Welcome to the show. We're talking about why it's so hard to stay positive. The basic human emotions, according to Andrea Waltz and Richard Fenton, are anger, hate, sadness, fear. Now let's look at those 4. Anger, negative emotion, right? Hate, definitely negative emotion. Sadness, negative emotion. Fear, very negative emotion. 4 negatives, 1 positive, happiness. Happiness is all alone. Anger, hate, sadness, and fear, they're all together. So it's kind of, now I know it's not like, it's not like some statistical thing where an event happens. God's kids, thank you so much for joining, or God's kid, thank you so much for joining. You're on a lot of my scopes, and I deeply appreciate that. I hope you're having a wonderful day. By the way, guys, I'm trying to build up my heart account, so if you can heart, just give me a bunch of hearts, that would be cool. And follow me. I have great content, and if you like the content, swipe and share. If you're on an iPhone, swipe left to right. You can share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook. If you're on Android, swipe bottom to top, share it on Facebook, share it on Twitter. That would be wonderful. Now, so you look at those emotions. Anger, hate, sadness, fear, all negative, and then happiness. And I know it's not like something happens, like somebody runs over your dog and then you're in some statistical thing in your head where you have a 20% chance of choosing happiness. I mean, you're really going to be sad, right? But when you think about it, if that's our human response to the world in general, then our human response to the world in general is 80% negative and 20% positive. I wish I could remember the book. I read a lot. I read a book like 20 years ago, and it was all about how the human emotions developed, and it said that a lot of our emotions developed back when life was like really hard, when we were, even before we had tribes of people, when we were just like little bitty units of hunter-gatherers out on the plains or maybe in the Ice Age. There was a lot to fear, and we had really short, brutal lives. So it kind of makes sense, and we've kind of carried that along with us. But when you think about this, it doesn't take work to get mad. It it might take a little work to be hateful towards some, to have hate. You know, I think hate would be carrying around that anger, okay? Or reliving that anger over and over in your head. It's not something that I do. It doesn't take work to feel sadness, and it really doesn't take work to feel fear. I mean, it's your constant companion. And sometimes it doesn't take work to feel happiness, but a lot of times it does take work for a lot of people to feel happiness. And the reason is because our emotional range is so skewed toward the negative. Before the show, one reason I'm wearing this hat is I was outside playing fetch with my dog. And my dog is really happy. He's just a happy guy. He might get unhappy if he can't find the ball, that I throw. He would probably start whining. He's a puppy. He would probably start whining if you didn't feed him or something like that. But he's going to get over that, and he's going to be happy and stay happy. So he seems to have an emotional range. Maybe all dogs do. They seem to have an emotional range more geared toward happiness than human beings. Reach for silver. I love that handle, considering that I'm an affiliate for a company that sells gold. Excellent. So maybe dogs have an easier time than we do emotionally. There's that old joke, if you put your wife, and I said, look, this is an old guy joke. If you put your wife and your dog in a car and drove around town for 2 hours and opened the trunk, which one would be happy to see you? It would be your dog. You would be in trouble with your wife. So anger, hate, sadness, fear on the one hand, negative emotions, happiness on the other hand. The bottom line is, I think human beings are sort of skewed toward negative emotions. So having said that, that's why, when you read about how to control, not necessarily control, but how to maintain and grow a positive emotional environment inside of your own head and your heart, it takes work. You have to work at that. The reason you have to work at that is because you have 20% of your emotions are positive and the other 80% are negative. So how do you work at it? I work at it a bunch of ways. I read a lot of spiritual literature. I meditate. I am really, really careful about getting negative people out of my life. I have negative emotions just like everyone else. And another thing that I do is I don't work at this, but I work on becoming proficient at letting them just pass through me. Not holding on to them, not anger held on to, I'm guessing, becomes hate. I don't have much of a hate problem, but just letting them flow through me. I mean, you could get mad. Nobody's saying you have to be a robot. As a matter of fact, that's not going to work. I may explain to you some other day why that's not going to work, but just let that pass through. It's okay to get mad. I mean, look, if somebody drops an anvil on your foot, you're probably going to get a little mad, and it's okay. So, but just don't hold on to that. Okay, fear. We talked about fear in an entire scope. Fear's real. I'm an entrepreneur. I have fear. It's just life. I'm sitting here living. I'm looking around. There are monsters out there. What are you going to do about the fear? Well, how about feeling it and acknowledging it? And I'm a religious person, so I have somewhere to put it. I have something to do with it besides just face it with a false bravado. But just deal with it, be with it, and then it will dissipate and go. So that's what I do with negative emotions. Other things that you can do about negative emotions: take walks, make sure you're sleeping and eating right. That will cut down on the negative emotions and also help create harmony inside of you. What has this got to do with business? Absolutely everything. I mean, because now, so if you're like me, overly logical, you might be thinking that, wow, well, there are plenty of business people who have really negative emotions and they're doing really well in business. True, that's true. I would challenge that on average, they're very happy individuals. In other words, they've got all the bells and whistles, all the toys, and they still have a giant lack. And you and I both know people like that, or people who tend to be like that. I'm not sure I've ever met a person with a real negative mindset problem who also felt fulfilled. I don't think, I think those two are mutually exclusive. So I would encourage you as a takeaway from this show to one, if you struggle with negative emotions, well, I just explained to you why. You're human, and apparently we were created a little bit on the negative side. We have anger, hate, sadness, fear, and then happiness. So we have a broad range of negative possibilities and less of a range of positive possibilities. So you have to so that's a takeaway. In other words, forgive yourself. Another takeaway is you have to kind of make the decision how you're going to respond to the world. Okay, so you get a big fat bill that you didn't count on. You got a partner that didn't come through for you. You have a project you were working on that you thought was going to be the best thing you ever did, and it was a total flop. You tried this new thing and it didn't work. I mean, it's okay to feel sad, fear, anger, even. Umut 3473, thank you for joining the show. And I mean, it's fine. It's fine to feel that. Matter of fact, if you don't feel that, you're feeling it anyway, but you're just locking it inside of yourself, and it's going to cause you problems later. So it's fine to feel that. Just feel it and let it go, and then get back to positive. Because if you can maintain that healthy, the word sanity, we think of you're insane or insane. The word sanity originally comes from a Latin word which means health. So maintaining that healthy environment inside of yourself. And if you get off kilter, if you fall off your emotional, unicycle, get back on. Just say, ouch, that hurt, oh well, and get back on and get back to happiness. So, start, again, good sleep, proper nutrition. I tell you this, get rid of alcohol, absolutely get rid of anything else. Um, maintain that inner, that inner peace within yourself, not a false inner peace, but an inner love of other people in the world. And then you will find that, yeah, you're going to get all mad about stuff, and you're going to get fearful about stuff, but it will pass through you, and then you'll get back to what becomes your normal state, which is happiness. And from that happiness, besides the fact that it's a whole heck of a lot more pleasant to live like that, from there comes your creativity. Okay, good creativity does not come from fear. From there comes your creativity. From there comes your vision. From there comes your passion. And frankly, other people relate to you. They see right through you. It's all unconscious. They see right through you. They can see if you're a positive or negative person. Okay, and from there you're going to gather the right people into the world, and reality will reward you for this by bringing the right things into your life. So you translate that to reality, God, the universe, however you need to translate it, but that will actually work. So that is today's show. It's a little explanation about why us humans have a little bit of difficulty remaining positive, but it's so important to remain positive. And if you will just forgive yourself and allow yourself, you can get back to the positive. And then I love those hearts. Thank you so much. And then you can continue to, you're like a flower unfolding, okay? You continue to unfold and become the person that you're meant to become and have the impact on the world that you are meant to have. So God bless you. I love you. Thank you so much for being on my show. Make sure you follow me. I have lots of good content all about online businesses. I've been doing this full-time for 5 years, part-time for 3 years. I got a lot of experience. You can follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/LeeColeOnline, LinkedIn.com/IN/LeeColeOnline. Go to my website, internetmaverick.com. I love you, and I do daily business scopes, Monday through Friday at 9 o'clock. Got the replays on my blog if you want to see my past stuff, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day wherever you are.